Hello.
Hey there. Okay. I'm sorry for the delay. I was having some connection issues, but I think I was able to solve them. So please, if you don't mind turning your camera on so that we can start with today's class. You're really grateful? Okay, there we go. Okay, Wilder. So I don't know if it was just you or probably maybe because I did send the link, right? So I don't know. I thought there were more people in your group. But anyways, we're just gonna get started.
Okay.
Um, Okay. So anyways, today we're not really, during this hour, we're not really gonna have an actual class, but instead what we're gonna do is we're gonna have an introductory session. And during this introductory session, we're gonna talk about the course, we're gonna talk about yourself, we're gonna talk about your expectations about the course, the TOEFL test, and we're also gonna talk about the calendar and every detail that we have to know in order to start later today. So let's Okay, so first of all, welcome to this TOEFL preparation course. I'd like to start by saying that TOEFL is one of the biggest areas here at Executive English, and we've had many students from all over the world, especially this region, right? South America, and obviously we have more students from Bolivia, which is where we're located. But since our courses are mostly online, then we've had many students from different countries as well. Now, the first thing that I gotta say, and this is what I was telling you before, is that here at Executive we have this Zoom policy, and we require students to have their cameras on throughout the entire class. And that is really important for us because that is the way that we make sure that you guys are there, that you are present, that you're paying attention. And our results are way better when we've seen that students are constantly paying attention and following the class. So this is something that I'm going to be asking every student before we start our classes. And of course, today is our first class, but from now on, it's always good to have our cameras. Now, another thing, this is really important as well. This is the schedule that we're gonna be having for this course. Do you know how many weeks this course lasts?
6 weeks.
Exactly. So this course is gonna last exactly 6 weeks. Now, during these 6 weeks, we are only going to be having classes from Tuesdays to Fridays. That means that there are no scheduled classes on Mondays. Okay? So our schedule is from Tuesdays to Fridays. This week we're starting on Wednesday because because of the holidays and everything else. But like every single week, our usual schedule will be Tuesdays to Fridays at 7 p.m. Now, this week, because of the holiday yesterday, because of the carnival holiday, since we didn't have that class yesterday, what we're going to do is only for this week, we will only have class this Saturday. So this week will be from Tuesdays to Saturday, but every other week will be just like this, Tuesdays to Fridays. And the time is 7 p.m. Bolivia time. So are you living here in Bolivia?
Yes, I'm living in Cochabamba. About Saturday, at what time? Same
Same
time
time.
or different? Okay.
Same time. Okay, so that's perfect. In that case, you won't need to do any conversions. It will just be 7 p.m. for you and me as well. Now, during these 6 weeks, since we have 4 classes a week, Tuesdays to Fridays, that means that during 6 weeks, 6 times 4, we'll be having 24 classes total. Now, out of these 24 classes, and this one, today's class, doesn't count. So out of these 24 classes, half of them, that means 12 of them, will be theory class. So during these theory classes, we'll basically be covering the theory behind the test. That is basically the structure of the test, the types of questions that you have in the test. We'll be covering each section of the test, and of course, I'll be giving you strategies and tips and techniques in order to answer those questions. That is going to be the theory. And the other 12 classes will be practice sessions or practice classes. And that's going to be on Wednesdays and Fridays. So during the practice sessions, basically everything we'll do is you guys will practice. So you and your group will be practicing everything that we have seen the day before in our theory class. So let's say we do the speaking section, then you'll be practicing the speaking section. If we do writing, we'll practice writing. Okay, so 12 theory and 12 practice sessions, and I'm not counting today's introductory class. Is this okay so far? Do you have any questions about this?
I have a question. I will be added to another groups for the practice, or I will be with my, I think it's only one partner I will have according to the WhatsApp.
Okay. No, what we do is every single week, new students join different groups. So there's already an established group for 7 to 8 p.m. and you will be joining together with your classmate that group. Okay. Now, of course, there's not a lot of people. We have that rule that it's not supposed to be over 10 or 12 people tops. So it's still going to be very personalized. But yes, you will be joining an already established group.
Okay, I have another question. Is about regarding the schedule they passed me through PDF. First week is speaking and writing. Second
No.
week is writing, or how it would be?
Okay.
Or will be kind of mixed?
It won't be mixed. It will follow an order, but we won't be starting in the reading section. What we will be starting with is writing 1 and 2. So today's class and this week will be for the writing section, and then we'll move on to the reading, then listening, then speaking, and finally, last week will be for also the writing section. That's how we're going to be managing our calendar. So yes, this week we'll be starting in the writing section, writing task number 2. We'll finish the writing this week, and next week we'll start with the reading, then listening, speaking, and last week will be for writing number 1, which we're missing this week. Okay. Any other question?
No other question.
All right. Now this is a little bit about me. So my name is Andrea, as I already said in the group, and I've been working here at Executive English for over 3 years. Of course, I made a stop in between, but I've been working here at Executive for 3 years now. Basically, my native language is Spanish as well, and I learned English because I went to an American high school, and ever since I graduated from high school, I started teaching. But of course, I started specializing in some areas. I did a TEFL course. I am certified in TEFL and ESL teaching, and I took the TOEFL test myself as well. So as you can see here on my screen, these are my scores for each section. I got an 114 in the test, which is over 120, and that equals, well, in the TOEFL scale to a C2 proficiency score. Right, but of course that is different for everyone. And these are my subsection scores. So that's my score for the reading, the listening, speaking, and writing, as you can see. Okay. Do you have any questions about me? Anything you want to ask? Anything you'd like to know?
Is it hard to reach that score?
It requires a lot of work. It is not enough just speaking English or being fluent. It does require a lot of preparation and a lot of work, but everything's possible. So you can definitely do it. Of course, you need first to speak the language, and you need an advanced level. And then you need to prepare because it requires a lot of hours of preparation. It requires things like time management skills and practice a lot. For example, the speaking and writing, all practice. It requires learning vocabulary. It requires practicing the listening outside of the classroom as well. So it will require a lot of work from you in and outside the classroom, but it is possible. It is definitely possible.
Okay, that's all.
Okay, wait. Thanks. Now, since this is a TOEFL course, TOEFL preparation course, it's important to know what exactly the TOEFL test is. So what do you know so far about the TOEFL test? I mean, why are you taking it? What do you know so far?
Well, I want to certify my English. I took that TOEFL at college, but like 12 years ago. So I want to have another certifications to do some papers.
So nothing in particular. You're not applying somewhere.
Uh, kind of. Um, it's because I want to do a mastership outside, and they ask a certain level of English. And well, TOEFL is, I think, is the easiest one to get. Not like the Cambridge here in Bolivia. I think we don't have the Cambridge. I At school I did a Cambridge, but I don't know a place where to take the test from Cambridge. And I TOEFL is the most common of all the
Yeah,
English.
especially around this
So that's why,
region.
yeah. So that's why I'm
All right. Now,
preparing
the
also.
good thing is you already took the test, so you already know, you already have an idea. The structure has changed. It has changed like 3 or 4 years ago, but the changes have been minimum. So it is basically the same structure, like with a few changes, a few less questions than before. So you already have an idea of the structure, and that's gonna be really useful. And what else? So yeah, the Cambridge test, I think you can take it in Santa Cruz. I don't know if in Cochabamba it's available, but I've heard that in Santa Cruz they're administering the Cambridge test. But yeah, it is different. It is entirely different. And if you can use the TOEFL test, it is, I would say, it depends on where you are planning on going, but it is more useful, especially for the States and Australia. Of course, if you're planning on going to like Europe, England, and stuff, then the Cambridge is more common there. But I don't know. Where are you planning on going?
To Spain.
Oh, that's great. The TOEFL.
But I yes, I think Cambridge or either TOEFL it won't be problem as long as I show the paper that I know my level of English.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it doesn't
They
matter.
yeah, they usually don't mind. The IELTS too is also another option, but we don't have it here. So yeah, the TOEFL is great.
Mhm.
Okay, so TOEFL
Okay.
stands for Test of English as a Foreign Language, as you can see on my screen. And as you said it, it's a test of English, try
Mhm.
to kind of validate your English level. And it is taken by non-native speakers, so by people who learn English as a second or as a foreign language. Now, one important thing to clarify is that since the TOEFL is really big, there are many versions of the test. The one that we're going to be studying isn't the only one. The one we're going to prepare you for is the TOEFL IBT, which is pretty sure the one you're going to take. No, but there are other versions as well. The IBT is the most common one. The IBT is the internet-based test, which means that you take it on a computer throughout the internet, but there are others as well. For instance, we have the PBT version, which is the one that you take on paper, although it is not administered here because it is supposed to be for places where they have like zero access to internet. But there are others as well. There's one that's very recent, which is the TOEFL Essentials, but it's different as well. The TOEFL Essentials is less academic than this one. It is not used for like applying to master's degrees or bachelor's degrees or any academic institution, but for other purposes. So you're taking the TOEFL IBT, right?
Uh, I don't know. After we finish, I will go to
Mhm.
CBA here in Cochabamba to
Oh
check
yeah,
about that test.
in the CBA, the only one that they offer is the TOEFL IBT.
Okay, so that it will be the one I will take.
Yes, I also took a test in the CBA. So yeah. Okay. Now the TOEFL is made by the ETS. So this is just so that you know a little bit about the context. And the ETS, every time that I mention the ETS, you will know that it's the company that makes and scores your tests. So the ETS is a huge company. It makes other tests as well, other standardized tests. And a standardized test is basically one that is the same. No matter where you take it, you'll take the same type of test. So the ETS is one company that makes other standardized tests as well, like the GRE or the SAT. Now, one thing that is really important to mention is that right now you have two options. So you're telling me you're gonna go to the CBA, so you're probably gonna take the test in a test center. But you have another option as well. Because of the pandemic, they have created this home edition version. It is the exact same test, but you have the option to
Mhm.
take it at home on your own computer with a proctor in your camera and everything else. So have you already decided you're gonna take it in a test center?
Not yet, but I never heard about this option of the ice B.
ASB isn't really, I don't, it was, I think, at a test center, but right now it's
Mm-hmm.
not anymore. So an
Mm-hmm.
example of a test center, I think here in Cochabamba, the CBA would be the main reference.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but you do have the option of taking it at home. Now, if you take it at home, you will just take it in your own room with your own computer. You have those
This
two
is with
options.
with executive English or is a part?
No, it's totally, I mean, you have to take it, you have to register on your own and you will take it on your own
Okay.
computer. So yeah. Now both of them are okay. There are some differences, not in terms of the structure of the test or the types of questions, but in terms of the experience. So it is different taking it at home than in a test center. And both have their advantages and their disadvantages. So for example, would you
Mm-hmm.
say that you get distracted really easily?
Depends. If
How
it's a
so?
test, I focus on that test. But if I am, for example, watching an educative video, I can distract myself with something around me. But
Okay.
I try not to distract, to be honest.
Okay, then that's good. That's really good. Because, for example, for people who tend to get distracted really easily, it is better, or it may be better for them to take it at home. Since when you take it in a test center, I mean, you've taken the test, you probably know that, right? So, for example, in the speaking section, you may be doing the speaking section on your own and you have your own headphones in the test center, but there are other people that are taking the test too, and you can hear them speaking. And if you are someone who gets distracted really easily, then it can be easy to try to like listen to their responses and try to see what you can do. So it can be tough in that sense. But if you can focus really well and you practice focusing, you practice doing the speaking section with background noise, and you practice in a maybe crowded place, then you'll be fine just taking it in a test center. Now, another thing to consider is that, for
Mhm.
example, some universities, they, I mean, they have decided that they don't accept the home edition test. It's not, it may, I mean, we can say that it's not as trustworthy as taking it in a test center. Like some universities have some, I don't know, some concerns about taking it at home because it is easier to cheat. And well, that is one thing, right? And another thing is that when you take it at home, there's a problem that maybe something goes wrong with your computer, maybe the Wi-Fi connection stops working, maybe your keyboard doesn't work, maybe your microphone doesn't work. And if something like that happens, then it will be completely and entirely your fault, right? So your test gets canceled and that's it. You cannot do anything about it. But if something like that happens in a test center, which for example happened to me, I think the computer froze when I was taking the test. it won't be my problem, right? They will have to solve it and I can continue with my test, no problem. Or anyways, I'll get a refund if something happens. So those are some
Mhm.
differences between taking it at home versus taking it in a test center. Any questions about that?
Yeah, yeah. I prefer taking it on a test center because
I'm sorry?
at home I can to cheat. So I
Okay.
prefer to be honest and going to a place to take the test. I prefer
Okay, yes.
going to a test center. In this case, because somehow we get tempted by the internet as advantage on a test.
Mhm. Yeah,
So I prefer being honest on a test and doing it in personal.
yeah, that's true. That's totally true. So yeah, I would say like it depends on the person. Like personally, yes, I did find that taking in a test center was a better option. It is safer and it is maybe more valuable than taking it at home, but it depends. So yes.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. Any other question? Anything else?
No, no questions. No.
All right. Mm, I don't know what's going on.
I think
I think my computer froze.
you are having internet issues.
Yes, I think so too. I don't know if it's the Zoom app. Well,
Kind of slow. Yes, I
yes,
think it's internet connection.
okay. I'm gonna
I
see.
was going to ask you, are you at school
Nope, I'm at home actually.
or a place? I saw kids behind you.
Oh no, this is like a co-work that I have in my apartment.
They're
Yeah, people come here to work and study and stuff.
your brothers.
No, no, those are
It's
like
like three kids.
those are my neighbors.
Uh,
Yes, this is like a co-work place, so people come here to do work or study,
uh,
and everybody in the apartment can use it.
mm, mm, cool.
Yes, I think it's the Zoom app because I cannot see you right now.